Hey there, this is Jenna from Hill Valley Farm, and we wanted to give you an update since it had been so long. Today is December 15th, 2020, and we have several pregnancies confirmed. Please excuse Gloria behind me. It's feeding time. Anyways, I wanted to give due dates and expected due dates, and so here we go. The ones that have for sure settled are as follows. Coco, Hill Valley, Hershey's Coco. She was bred with Cash. She will be due February 14th. The next one is Rolling Meadows Lady Liberty. She will be, she was bred with Cash. She will be due February 28th. The next one is, I mentioned February 28th. The also due on February 28th is the Hill Valley Karmic Glory. She was bred to Rocket. So this is Gloria actually behind me. We call her Gloria. Her registered name is Karmic Glory. She was bred obviously with Rocket behind me, Vista Oaks Rocket. She is due also February 28th. So they have all three been settled for some time now, and so I feel very comfortable in giving you those dates. The next one is extremely exciting. We went ahead and did a blood test, like I said before, on Corey's Fancy, Karma, and it was positive. So she is pregnant, and so she will be due between the dates of February 14th and March 18th, 2021. So we are so excited that she was for sure pregnant, and so she had settled. So that's Karma. The next on the list is Rolling Meadows Mary Mercy. Mercy is due on March 14th, 2021. She was bred with Rocket. She's still in the breeding pen, but she's long since been settled. So she's due March 14th. The next one will be Rolling Meadows BB Godiva. That's our Lily. She is due on March 23rd, 2021. She was bred to Rocket, and when I say Rocket, it's Vista Oaks Rocket. When I say Cash, it's Hill Valley Cash, Johnny Cash. So Mercy was bred with Vista Oaks Rocket. Next on the list, Lily was also bred with Rocket. Sorry, they get all confusing. Next is the Hill Valley Zelila Grace. She will be due March 24th, so it's the day after Lily is due. She was bred, it was a repeat breeding between her and Rocket. So we got two doelings out of that breeding last year. We have kept them here on the farm at Sky and Iris, and so I'm really excited to see what they do again this year. So that was Lila, due March 24th, 2021. The next one is Woody Glen Z Little Sophia. We call her Dolly. She is due April 10th, 2021. And so she has settled. It's been enough days. The only one that did not settle on their first breeding is Corey's Fancy Hermione. And she has been bred again and will be due March 2nd, 2021, as long as she settles this time. If she doesn't settle this time, I'm probably gonna not worry about it this year and try for maybe the fall, or talk to our vet and see, what can be done. I really want that girl to settle. I really want, she's Chamois, and I want that in the herd. So anyway, so that is what has been going on here. We still have Rocket behind me. You can see him. He's so pretty. He is staying in the breeding pen until I think Hermione would be settled. I would like to see if he can notice her coming back into heat, but we'll see. Recall and Cash are still in the buck pen together. I'm actually watching them right now fight, and not really fight, but you know, play fight. And they really enjoy each other. They're about the same size, and they are getting along really well. So we are very happy with both of them. We still plan to breed in March for August kids if all goes well and I have space and all that. It'll probably be pen breedings, not so much breeding stalls and fields and all that. So we'll see. It may just be a selected thing, and that would be Elfwin, Irma, and Mayflower. I think that's all for breeding. We have been drying up. I say we started drying up after I sent the last milk test for the 4 girls. Irma, Mayflower, Lily, and Elfwin. All of them have earned their stars. That'll be in another video. I want to really kind of highlight them whenever the results come out and they're no longer pending. So anyways, those girls have been dried up. I kind of want to talk to you guys about drying up does. It's not really easy. These are dairy does, and so sometimes they like to continue to give milk because that's what they are for. So with that said, you know, with all the numbers that came in, all of them did excellent. All of them got their AR stars. It's amazing how well they did. Elfwin's numbers were the lower ones, but however, Elfwin would not dry up. I had the hardest time drying her up. She literally just a few days ago started feeling softer and started reabsorbing the milk. And I think it was at least a month that we have been trying to dry her up. So that says a lot in longevity. When you want these dairy does, you don't want them to, oh, we missed a milking, or oh, we went to a show and so we got them all bagged up, and well, it really slowed down the production. I now know that would never happen with Elfwin, and so that actually gives me something to think about when keeping her daughters. I definitely think I want to keep one of Elfwin's daughters this year. I didn't last year. I kept her son, Cash. So that might be something that I look into next fall, keeping one of her daughters, because the longevity thing is a big deal. And being able to have a bag all bagged up, but not let it slow your production down. Throughout her entire production, she really didn't slow down. She did really well. So I was very proud of her. I was very proud of all of them. But when we talk about drying, there's Trixie behind me. When we talk about drying up a doe, we had cut back. We did twice a day milkings from February almost all the way through October. Then in October, we kind of cut down to once a day milking. My once a day milkings, it was just easier to do them in the evenings, just because sometimes I have to leave, and in the mornings it gets hectic around here. So I chose to keep my milkings in the evening. You can do whatever you like. If you have a lot of does, you can do some of them in the morning, some of them at night. You know, it's the beauty of it. So we cut down to once a day milking. And that was just when we were tired. We weren't done with milk stars or the milk test, but we were just tired. So then when we decided, okay, we got the paperwork, everything looks good, we're going to dry these girls up. We went to, so let's say I milked them on a Monday night. I would not milk them again. I wouldn't milk them on Tuesday night. I would wait until Wednesday morning. So you've skipped and you've went another 12 hours. Then, so you milk on Wednesday morning. Then ideally, it would be nice if you could go add another 12 hours to that, but I typically don't. I would milk again. So you milked on Wednesday morning, you would milk again on Thursday night. So then you would make the milkings go. After that, try and see if you can make the milkings go all the way until Saturday night, depending on the doe, maybe Sunday morning. And so like with Elflin, we had to milk her, and we weren't able to add on a lot of 12 hours in between. And then once we did, she still continued to bag up and still continued to be tight. Now when you go to feel the doe, when they are drying up, you are feeling them to make sure they're not too tight. You also are feeling them to make sure that they're not hot. If they're hot, that means there's a problem. You know, they should just be warm throughout, no temperature difference on their udder or teats whatsoever. There should be no hard lumps. It should all be, you know, pretty soft and palpable. But, you know, again, it's a dairy doe. They may get tight, and that's normal. They may have to stay tight for a couple days to get the clue. Oh, hey, you know, let their brain catch up to their bag and say, oh, she's not milking me anymore, or my milk isn't needed. Let me start reabsorbing this. So eventually what happens is the doe will reabsorb the milk, and then the bag will just kind of deflate, and then they're no longer in milk. And so the only way you can get a doe back in milk is to breed them and have them kid, and then they're back in milk. So you also don't want to breed a doe in milk and then keep them in milk throughout their entire gestation. You want to at least give them that last 2 months of their gestation not in milk. So we were good. We actually gave them the last, should be 3 months without being in milk. So Lily ended up earning her star in all 3 categories, which was just absolutely amazing. That's her right there. That's Rolling Meadows BB Godiva. By her pedigree, we call her Lily. But she was fairly easy to dry up, which really makes my life a lot easier. So that was kind of nice. The others were just harder. So, you know, you just kind of work with it. You're not going to be able to milk them all and keep them all on the same schedule. You know, it kind of gets hairy. But in the end, it's worth it when you want your milkcation, as a friend of mine calls it. It's like a vacation from milking, which is exactly what it is. We do still have Lila in milk. We sent off her last sample Monday, which was just yesterday, and we're waiting on her paperwork as we speak. Once we get her paperwork back and everything looks good and her numbers are what we expect and it should look like, we will then dry her up and she will be done. So she's the only one in milk. We're only milking her once a day in the evenings, and I tell you, I'm gonna miss the goat's milk. I love having the goat's milk. We like drinking it, but I like to make the soaps and lotions with it. I do all kinds of stuff with it. Next, I mean, we've made ice cream. I've made yogurt. I really would like to kind of get into the cheeses. So anyway, so that's something fun for next year. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. We haven't forgot about our channel. It's just been kind of crazy around here. And just with the breeding and getting them all dried up. And that's the other thing. Grain rations. You know, when they're in milk, you give them the grain, all the grain they'll eat on the stand. Well, they keep expecting that whenever you get them in at night and they think they're going to get all the grain. Well, I had to really cut back on Elflin and Irma. Irma and Elflin barely even got a little bit of a handful. Whenever, excuse the guinea, my son and his guinea. I barely gave them a little bit of a handful every evening just to get them in the stall. So you also have to cut back on their grain ration, and they don't need it like they once did. And so anyway, so it's just a big, you know, nothing is ever permanent around here. We are moving and we play musical stalls quicker than anyone. And so it's just always interesting. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. And thank you so much for watching. And we will see you guys soon with some updated, I hope, stars. And more information on if Hermione has settled or not. And if we don't see you before then, have a Merry Christmas. And one of our big time subscribers wanted to say hello.